Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Raphael II, one half of your host of the Fountain of Wisdom and Knowledge podcast. We're just coming to touch base with you. Unfortunately, this video will not have any visuals. We had a slight malfunction with the camera, and we lost a lot of our video footage from this episode, unfortunately. But there were far too many jewels dropped in this podcast for us not to utilize it. So just here to apologize once again for the inconvenience of there not being any video, but the show must go on. And we hope you enjoy the episode. This is episode number 9 of the Fountain of Wisdom and Knowledge podcast with the title Fatherly Advice, featuring my actual father, Raphael II Sr. So we hope you enjoy, and we love you. We'll see you next week. Greetings, and ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you to a new episode of the Fountain of Wisdom and Knowledge podcast. We are your hosts. I am Mr. Raphael II.
And I'm Truman Lewis.
And as always, we use this podcast as a beacon of knowledge, logic, wisdom, truth, and understanding, business, and personal development. Before we get started, once again, we always want to thank our sponsors for the podcast, Go Get Dash. Go Get Dash is a ride-share and delivery app similar to Uber, similar to Lyft, but they just have a different take on who they serve and their market niche. So if it be your will and desire to produce some income for yourself, please go to the Google Play or the Apple Store today. Download the Go Get Dash driver app. That's Go Get Dash, all one word, driver. And if you would like to participate as a rider, you can download the Go Get Dash, all one word app as well, and it's there for you. Well, thank you to Go Get Dash for sponsoring the podcast once again. How we doing today, brother?
Man, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing well. And as y'all can see, we have a special guest in the building.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to give this gentleman the ability to introduce himself, let the people know who you are, what you do, and we'll get started on the conversation.
Well, let's go and let me start with my name.
That's right. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, right. my first name is Raphael, Raphael, because we have a lot of Hispanic in this country, so sometimes my name gets misspelled.
Yes, sir. Okay, gotcha.
Instead of PH, they put an F. Right. So I want to make it clear on that. This is a French Raphael.
Okay.
Yes, middle name Kutota, Kutota, last name Basisa, Basisa, and senior, SR instead of junior.
Hold up. So you're the senior.
Yes, I'm the senior.
And this is the junior.
Yeah,
He's the junior.
Oh, okay. Raphael Kutota. Okay, I got it.
Yes.
Pleasure to have you on with us today, my brother.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
for joining us.
Thank you.
So we were kind of struggling with the title, but we came with the title now. It's Fatherly Advice.
Fatherly Advice.
So we just want to tell us tell us some of the things that you do. I know that you've written a book here recently. So tell us about the endeavor of reading the book or writing the book rather, and tell us about some of the the topics that are covered in the book.
Well, instead of the book, I want to start off the endeavor of being alive.
I know that's right.
Yes, right. Like I said, my name is Raphael Kutota Basisa Sr. I came from the Republic of Congo. It's just in central, they call it Central Africa, in the middle of the continent of Africa. Maybe not so many doesn't know it. I mean, you can go and look at the atlas or Google the name Congo, Congoa, and then you see where I come from.
Gotcha.
I left my home where, with my parents. I was around age 22, and it was a big gamble. It was a big gamble. Because in Africa, when you're born in Africa and grew up in Africa, I mean, there are so much positive about it and so much also that is still lagging. Even right now, I was in Africa maybe a year ago, so a few things still lagging. So being in America, I mean, we, the one coming from the outside, we see big opportunity. I see when I walk around, I meet brothers and sisters, and sometimes I just look in their eyes. It's like they walk around with their heads down, and the shoulder not open enough like they should have.
Yes, sir.
I mean, this country is a country of opportunity. Yeah, I came here because even from back then we saw the opportunity far away. So it was a struggle because I didn't come in a place where people make barely $2 $2 a day. So to make it here, the airline ticket itself costs over $2,000. So yeah, it was a long shot. It was a long shot to from there to here. So every time I see a brother and sister that is working face down and shoulder not lifted, I'm about to say, look, brother, wake up, stand up.
I know. Can I ask you something, Mr. Raphael?
You're in a better place. Yes.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Do you think the reason why individuals from America like myself, it seems like we don't value the opportunity the same way
Exactly.
you did? Do you think that's because, as the people say, we're born with a silver platter? What would be your take on that?
Yes, that's one of the points. Sometimes when you born with something good, you don't realize how better off you are in comparison. You don't realize that. Wow. Sometimes, for us, we do realize that because we see where we come from and what it took to get here. And once we got here, what it took from, because when you get here, you start from the bottom. Number one, I came from a French-speaking country. And you had to learn English, number one. Learning the language was a struggle to begin with. I learned the language here, right here, CPCC.
You learn English here?
Yeah, right here.
Man, you speak English like you were speaking.
Well, 40 years ago. That was 40 years ago.
When you become a professional?
It was 40 years ago. So that, over time, I keep transforming myself, keep trying to perfect it, keep trying to get it better. So that's why, you're not the first person to say. Not too long ago, I met with a guy that I knew way back. He was like, oh, man, your English is almost perfect. So you can pass for an American. I said, well, I'm in America. Of course I am in America. Yes. But, life is full of gamble. If I never took that gamble, I wouldn't be here talking to you. And my son wouldn't be here.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's when he told me this morning that yesterday that he had an office, I said, bingo, we made it. We make it. Right. We make it. Yeah. Life is always a process. Yes, sir. You never get to the point where you say, okay, I made it here. No. It's always a work in progress.
And to your point, when you talk about being in America, you have like kind of a silver spoon in your mouth. I told my barber that one time. He was talking about how he has Haitian clients and he has people from Jamaica. I said the hustle's a little different when you don't have running water. You understand what I'm saying? When you come from a place where you might not have clean drinking water, the hustle's a little different. You understand what I'm saying? You sitting there, you see that differentiation a lot of times between American-born African Americans and then Africans from the continent to come here. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the Nigerians, I think the Nigerians are like one of the top earning demographics in the country. Well, they came here from another country, and they outpaced even white people in a lot of cases. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that hustle's a little different when you come from that type of adversity.
Well, I know for a fact it's different, Mr. Raphael. Both Raphaels, because
all of it is struggle. Yeah. But struggle, it's several strata. Yeah. I wouldn't say white people don't struggle. They do struggle, but it's just slightly different than each one of us. Each one of us have their own struggle. So you have to figure out what you struggle, and then see how you can move from there. Wow. So that's one of the important things in life.
Do you think at any given time, a person can excel, no matter what their conditions are?
Of course. I'm
living example, right?
I'm a living example. I'm a true living example from it. Yeah, wow. You can, no matter what. If you, like I say in the African American slang, if you put your back into it, you definitely will make it. It is hard. The struggle is never over. It's never over, but keep trying. Sooner or later, you get it. You get it.
Wow.
Definitely.
Coming from America, and this right here, this is just my belief, right? Because I was born and raised in America, right? And I don't know what it feels like to not have running water on a constant basis, right? I don't know how it feel to don't have electricity. Now, granted, the way we grew up, every now and then you come, the lights cut off, but it's going to get cut back on.
Right.
Yes.
So a lot of time I feel as if, not to take anything from anybody, my belief is, seem like other individuals that come from other countries
Right.
has a competitive edge. Now, their competitive edge isn't necessarily the things that they have. To me, it's the things that they don't have that fuel them to run straight past us.
Exactly.
I see it. I know people from my apologies. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I know individuals from Monrovia, Liberia, right? When I went to college. Everyone that came from Monrovia, Liberia was in the top percentage of the of class.
Right.
Oh, wow.
They came in and they focused, their grades was all around better. Because mine was terrible. One time I had like a 1.6 GPA. They was ready to kick me out. But that's how I was. Only because I knew that I had financial aid.
Right.
I could get it back. But the people from Monrovia, Liberia, they didn't have that. They had people at home that had to work for them and make it work. So I feel like sometimes your competitive edge isn't necessarily what you have, is what you don't have. And I believe that's where where we're losing in America.
Well, I often tell people poverty is the best motivator. Poverty.
Wow.
I mean, a lot of people don't see about poverty should be the best motivator because anybody want to be poor?
No.
Oh, I want you to stay on that point.
Yes.
Tell the story about the guy who told you that he was envious of you because you had come from the bottom. You had. Do you remember that story?
Yes.
No,
yes.
So can you tell that story?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not that one story, but there are so many of them. A lot of people, where I come from. I mean, because I don't even come from the biggest city in the Democratic Republic of Congo. My father was in the military. He was a military officer. So we were really deep down in the interior. So people in the big city in the Congo, I mean, they had it completely different. So when we were growing up, they saw me when we are coming from the interior, and I was envying them because being in a big city, they had clothing, they had shoes that in the interior I didn't have. So whenever I came, some of them they had to give me, the shoes so I can kind of trying to fit in. So now when I go back home to visit, they see me. It was like, oh man, now you way past us because you're in America.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just see, our people still visualize America, us. Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Tremendous.
That's an amazing.
That's why when you're in this land, you better take pride in it. You better take pride in it. You're in a better place. You're in a better place. So don't walk your head down, your shoulder low. Lift up your shoulder, lift up your face, because you're in a place where if you don't make it here, I don't know where else you'll make it.
Wow. Man, thank you. Listen, for real. Me and Raphael go back and forth all the time.
Yeah, right.
And just hearing your story, a fraction of your story, thank you, man. Thank you. Because sometimes people go through things. We go through things. We business things. We may go through personal things. Just hearing it from somebody else that came from, you said over 40 years.
Oh, yes. 40 years.
Brother, I can't talk one language good. I'm still speaking broken English. So wow.
Yeah, keep trying to make it better.
Yes.
Sooner or later, you get it.
So you told us a little bit about your history. So you went to NC State in chemical engineering was your degree. So what led you from that into going into politics, going into the real estate? Like what led you to kind of caveat or break off into those different ventures?
Yeah, growing up, I believe my mother was the biggest influence. Because my father was in the military. In the military, when it's kind of like you in that business and you kind of all set.
Yes, sir.
But my mother was behind my father, but she was the businesswoman.
Wow.
Yeah, she was the businesswoman. So I saw, our business can improve somebody. Our business can boost somebody. So I saw it first time from my mother. From not having anything, and my mother will hop in a big truck and go to further deep in the interior, buy some stuff, bring it in town and sell it, and then come home with some cash in the hand. So as a kid, when I saw it, and I saw some value in entrepreneurship.
Wow.
That's when I could see entrepreneurship is something.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is something. So when I grew older, I worked in corporation, but my sight was always there. So I saved every dollar. Wow. Saved every
that's
dollar.
where you get that from. You squeeze a penny.
Yeah.
One of his things is he just squeeze a penny to it flat.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes you that's some of my biggest surprise. Sometimes you do things you don't think your kids are watching. You're not aware that kids do watch. Yes, kids do watch. That's why for us parents, you have to be very careful which road you walk. So you have to always walk on a positive road because your kids are watching you.
Wow.
Yeah. When your kids are watching, sooner or later, if you were in a good path, they'll come back and do the same thing. Then you look back and say, well, where did I go wrong? So as a parent, you have to always walk that positive path.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a lot of the things they were important, but I was doing it so they can see it.
Gotcha.
I ran for politics. Now, so I can become somebody big. Or I want him to see it. I want him and his sister to see it. So maybe, it could be an option for them. Yeah. Who knows? Barack Obama has been our president for 8 years now. He's gone by. He broke a huge glass.
You're right.
He broke a huge glass ceiling. Yeah. So it's now wide open.
You're right.
No more glass ceiling. So if you don't do it, don't blame nobody. The people who came before us, showing us. So it's up to us to take it and run with it now. Wow. So
you know what I noticed about you, Mr. Raphael? You don't make no excuses.
I don't.
I notice you don't blame anything.
Yeah.
I notice what you're saying is everything. Listen, you got opportunity.
Oh, of course. And sometimes you have to make opportunity. Opportunity doesn't always come. Doesn't always land on your shoulder.
Did you just say you have to make opportunity?
Of course.
Explain that to me.
Oh, because life is a struggle. Life is a struggle. Things not gonna always be easy. Things not gonna be always easy. Sometimes you have to deep down do the jobs that you don't like, or you feel like it doesn't fit your scale or fit your level. You have to do it to earn some of the money so you can use that money to get yourself propped up. So pretty much that's what I mean by when I said you have to create opportunity. Sometimes opportunity doesn't create itself. You have to create it.
Wow.
It's your willpower. What you have in your head. You blend both of them and lift up.
Fatherly advice.
Fatherly advice.
Well, that ain't only fatherly advice. That's business advice.
Yeah.
Because it's something. Well, I'm gonna let you talk because I'll talk all day.
No, that's life advice. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
fatherly advice is not something that you can take in isolation. Life is one bowl. It's one huge bowl. Life is one huge bowl. Everything comes together. There is no fatherly, no business, or no family. No. Everything is all together. So you have to get it all up in the same time, trying to move it all up. Yes.
So to you, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Definitely.
You deal with a person. You meet an individual where they're at.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. I mean, because you can't force someone to want to uplift if they don't want to lift themselves up. And if you have somebody that's on a path of upward trajectory, I'm sure that person with the work that they're doing, they're not going to allow you to come in and disrupt what they have going on. You understand what I'm saying? True. So you can only fit in where that person is and try to you're going to either build or destroy. That's all you can do as people. But if you're a person that's going to try to work in conjunction with them, you go. They're going up. I want to go up too. So you know what I'm saying. If I got to tie a rope around your foot and drag myself and let you drag me up a little bit, then that's what I'll do. And then if I have to drag you, the rope flips the other way. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is.
Yeah, you're right. Well, let me ask you this: how do you convince someone that don't see an opportunity when you see an opportunity? Like, because we in America, we have opportunities. Mm-hmm. We definitely come a long way. There's still racism. But I'm sure it's not like it. I know it's not like when I was growing up. But it just has clothed itself in a different apparel, right? But how do you convince someone that's living in poverty, but their poverty is not the same poverty as in the Congo?
Oh, exactly.
How do you explain to them that you still have an opportunity when they don't have any lights, they don't have any water, mother's on crack, father's on crack, rat infested apartments? How do you make a person then see that he or she still have an opportunity? How do you do
I
that?
think the best thing you can do in that situation is the mindset. Once a person changes their mindset, and then, it won't be no barrier. Mindset is the biggest thing.
Well, how do you change Mr. Raphael, how do you change a person's mindset that's in that atmosphere? Like, how do you start transitioning them? As a father, how would you teach a person to start changing their mindset?
I don't know if teaching is the word.
Why
I don't know if teaching is the word, because mind is inside someone and you are outside. And for you to put what you have into somebody else's head, it's I think that's the biggest challenge. That's the biggest challenge. But you just have to try, show them, present to them, tell them, and do all the adjective that you can do because this is someone's inside part. Until they get in the inside of them, they're not going to perk up. Yes. So you still have to keep the pressure on, keep pushing, until sooner or later, one day there'll be a light bulb. That's the biggest challenge. That's the biggest challenge. But it's never ending. You have to keep trying, keep pressing, keep talking, keep presenting, keep showing alternative, until maybe one of the alternatives someday will just light up that that light bulb.
And I think that goes back to exposure. We always talk about exposure.
Exactly, that's
So,
exposure.
Yes. If you
Use
show
exposure.
them, if you show them that even in your present situation, it's not death. Right.
It's not hopeless.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not hopeless.
Hope against hope.
Right.
You gotta.
It's
We
not
always talk
hopeless.
about that. You gotta make sure a person understands
Yes,
that there's hope.
It's
Right.
never hopeless unless you give up. If you don't give up, if you still have that willpower, you still have that mind straight, you will do it. You will do it. You still have to. Yeah. You still have. Still have to thrive.
Mr. Raphael, you encouraging my heart. I'm telling you right
Thank
now.
you.
I'm telling you, just to be able
Thank you
to
very
see a
much.
product of yourself, and God has allowed me and Raphael to talk, Junior,
Yeah.
to talk a lot, so I can see where he get a lot of his logic from. I can see where a lot of his resilient come. Because one thing I noticed about you, Brother Raphael, even I noticed that he can be in a certain mood set but still push through it. We talked about that.
Yeah.
You can know, okay, well, you can say, okay, this is a bad situation, or this is not a good situation. But I also noticed that even with him saying that, he continues to push through it. He don't allow that to stop him. Most people say, okay, I'm in a bad situation. I'm just through with it. Or this is not a good situation. I'm just through with it. I noticed anything that your son says, he will always push through it.
Normally, we should all be like that. We should all be like that. I don't know where he got it from.
I see where you got it from. You got it from you.
It is a good thing.
Yes, it is.
It is a good thing that he adopted.
Yeah.
It is a good thing.
And it just comes from like me. For a long time, I would shoot myself a lot of times because I would see a situation and I would make up what the situation is going to be before it even played out. In my head, I'm making up what it's going to be, and it's always something negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to just learn to start letting life play out. It's not necessarily going to be where everything's going to end in a negative outcome, but if you start putting that in your mind, you start looking for that, and then you get what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? So that was just one of my things. Just perseverance is hard because you don't know the end outcome. You know what you want, but you just gotta have to let it play out. And sometimes you got to get out of your own way. You know what I'm saying? Well, just in kind of wrapping things up, we thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on. This has been a great conversation. Do you have any final thoughts for the people?
Well, I mean, my closing thought would be like, to piggyback on what you just said. It's about negativity. A lot of people take negativity as something negative. But my advice, I'm 63 years old. I'm going to be turning 63 in the next few days. I was born October 16.
Okay.
So
happy birthday.
I'm at a point in my life where I take both positive and negative. Because some people, because expecting only positive things to happen is sometimes, what we spoke early. Because in life will challenge you.
Yeah.
Life will challenge you. So when something negative come, don't look at it as negative. Just look at it as the challenge of life. I believe that's one of the last advice I will leave. Wow. That's take both positive and negative, but just don't let the negative drive you down. Yeah, whenever something negative happen, you brush yourself and you stand up and see, okay, what happened? How did I go wrong? You ponder on it. And once you figure out what did you do wrong, and you spin it, like in politics we say, you
put a spin on it.
Yeah, you put a spin on it. Don't let it take you down. You put a spin on it and turn from the negative into positive, and use that to get ahead. Definitely, that would be my last advice.
Ain't too many times I'm speechless.
I'm telling you.
Oh, wow. Everybody in social media, you hear it from Mr. Raphael Kutota Pasisa Sr. My brother, we appreciate everything the knowledge, the Jews that you dropped on us.
Right.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to use it. I'm definitely going to use some of it. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yes.
So thank you guys for joining us. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up. We want to say thank you to Go Get Dash again for sponsoring the podcast. That's Go Get Dash, all one word, in the Google Play and the Apple Store today. Thank you guys for listening. Please please subscribe, please share, and please comment. We would love to hear your thoughts about what we have to say on the podcast. We really enjoy you guys' engagement. And like I said, I will go back to looking through the comments to see if I can find some things that you guys would want to see us talk about. But once again, this is the Fountain of Wisdom and Knowledge podcast. We use this podcast as a beacon of knowledge, logic, wisdom, truth, and understanding, business, and personal development. We love you all, and we'll see you next week.